You saw the results of your prayer very quickly? Was there an uplifting story for the moment at that very time? Well, this story here, it took place about 25 years ago. This is before our city grew so much. There was a street like south of Main, there is C Avenue. They had a long stretch of nothing but open road to a set of apartments. And this particular Sunday morning, I had Laura and our sons, and we had a third child with us. I'm not sure who it was, whether it was the Barrasas or one of our employees' kid, but we drove out Ranchero, C Avenue. We went to have breakfast, but on the way down C Avenue, we observed this gentleman who was just walking down the street, like with the purpose he was going somewhere. But then after we went and had breakfast, and we were coming back out, and on our way home, now we watched the same person was out there kind of like looking through the weeds as though something had gotten lost. They was looking for something. So we made a U-turn, and we come back, and we asked him, what happened? What's the problem? He said, well, one of my friends that lives in that set of apartments asked me to stay in their apartment this week. And so I thought I would just walk down to 7-Eleven, give me a cup of coffee, just walk down there, cup of coffee and the newspapers, and then just walk back. But in the process of this, I lost the keys to the apartment, and I don't know where they are. So I've been looking. This is the trail that I walked, and I walked it several times. So then we get our kids out, and Laura and I are walking under this same distance, and then we came to a place where Laura says, I think we'll probably just have a word of prayer because we're not really finding anything just by walking back and forth. So we stopped for a moment. We had a word of prayer and asked for the Lord to give us a direction or open our eyes to see these keys. And then in about another 10 steps, there in this little bush, there were the keys to this gentleman. So then we were pretty happy to see the answer to our prayer right there and then, right? But so now the very next thing is, what do we do with this man? I mean, he probably is not a believer. So what we did, we asked him if he would want a Steps to Christ or some of the glow tracts that we had in the truck, and he accepted. But that brings me to a place where it makes me think about in our Bible. I'm not very organized, so give me a second here. In the book of John, chapter 4, and I believe it's verse 37, that speaks of some people sow, other people harvest. I always wonder about whatever happened to this gentleman and whether or not he ever read the Steps to Christ, whatever happened to him. So we should always have faith that whenever we plant a seed, regardless of where they go or what they do with it, that the Lord eventually will water it if it's His will. Amen? So never stop just sharing whatever is in your heart, whatever you have in your hands. Just be sure and share it with a word of prayer so that the Lord may bless it and be able to continue growing. Amen? And if you want to collect the money, I'll give you a bucket.